Iran's represented itself very, very well from the Olympics right through all levels of international competition. You'll see that now in Ali's wrestling. He's absolutely unparalleled in the Northwest MMA circuit, possibly on the UK circuit. A very high-level wrestler.
I've refereed and commentated on Ali's fights, and he's got that sort of...
There's the shot straight away, underneath the strike.
It's that instinctive wrestling you can only get training from birth. You know, he really is excellent wrestling technique, and he does it well for MMA too.
Huge slam. And Kent doesn't want to post his arm out like that when he gets lifted, because that's a very easy way to separate your shoulder. Although Kent's doing well sitting up, possibly going to look for some kind of butterfly guard. I spoke to Kent yesterday in the pre-fight interview, and I asked him, you know that Ali's a very high-level wrestler and very, very good at takedowns. What do you think of that? Have you watched much tape? And he said, he's only wrestling. I'm an alright wrestler myself, and I thought, be interesting to see how it plays out. So I'm very, very interested to see how this fight plays out now.
Sounds confident.
He was very confident, a very, very confident young man.
But they say a retard's not scared to put his hand in a fire. So just, if you don't know what's coming, I suppose it's easy to be confident. So at the moment, he's doing well. Arish on top didn't do anything, so now they're getting stood back up. Now, really, this is maybe one criticism I have of Ali is he can get the takedown, get that top position, but doesn't do enough with it sometimes.
This is going to be Ali's problem, perhaps something that he should work on. Perhaps while he's down at the Wolf side, which he mentioned earlier, he's famed for his ground and pound. Ali can hit takedowns all day, but you've got to work with him, or the referee will stand you up, as you've just seen now. So he's got the takedowns all day. He could just do with a little bit more finish.
I mean, look at that instinctive wrestling again. But what he needs to do, I think, from this is get a little bit of finishing behind him. He can get the good takedowns. He gets great positions. He just needs to learn to finish, I think.
As a wrestler, perhaps submissions such as the Kimura would favour him. You get the takedown quite easily, pass the legs, get to side control, start working for the Americana, the key lock, the Kimura on the far side. Could be a very strong submission for Ali.
Certainly, and we'll talk about the catch wrestling style, and for the freestyle wrestlers to work that catch wrestling style, snatching submissions, for example the key lock, the Kimura, just snatching those submissions from the wrestling position. That's where catch wrestling, I think, would work really well with the freestyle wrestling base.
Well, now we see Kent's doing a very good job of avoiding damage on the floor.
Certainly.
He's got that arm over up, so he's keeping Ali's posture broken down, maintaining the close guard. He doesn't look flustered in the slightest. He's been taken down repeatedly.
Again here, Ali not doing very much, and you see he does win on points, but he's getting a takedown, not doing enough with it. For me, in a fight, you need to fight. I like to see guys hunting for a finish.
Well, this is a big debate at the moment in mixed martial arts, and it pertains a lot to wrestling. Should the fight be judged on points, or should it be judged as a fight?
Certainly. Now,
Kent took a couple of big shots there and went for a shot of his own, but
Ali showing there that he's got some stand-up.
You see the difference in wrestling ability. Kent went for a shot of his own, but he bent double at the waist. He didn't change levels. He was extended his arms out.
Certainly. I mean, we're talking about the wrestling. Is it ruining MMA? I don't think it's ruining MMA, but sometimes I know that you can see crowds booing, and the times when it is the takedown hold sort of style, no action. I really would like to see more and more action.
You know, we've talked a lot about Ali's wrestling in this fight, but Ali just let off a perfect right-hand counter to the low kick. That's an absolute textbook counter. If somebody leads with the low kick with no setup, fire off that right hand straight away. He did, he rocked him, he took him down right after that with an ankle pick.
Yeah, he's showing a great base here as well as Kent tries to sweep him. He's showing a very strong base. Needs to be careful, he could get caught in the...
omoplata.
I think I took too many punches.
It's all right, Ian, I'm here for you. And he's switching from the omoplata to the armbar attempt. A little bit early.
Certainly, he's definitely got a good game here. You can see Kent showing his all-round skills. He's showing a bit of stand-up.
I'm very impressed with Kent's composure. Very impressed. He's taken a big shot. He's been slammed a few times. He knows that Ali's got the superior wrestling. He doesn't look flustered. He's continually working for submissions. He's working his strikes on the feet. Very, very composed. Also, he's fighting in Manchester, Ali's adopted hometown, in front of a hostile crowd.
Certainly, I think he's doing very, very well. I mean, we mocked him a little bit earlier, just messing about his composure and his confidence, but I think he's got real confidence because he's obviously put the work in the gym, and he's showing it here.
Pulled a little face when he got stood up again then, but he's going to need more action. When he's getting these takedowns, he's going to need some more action.
Beautiful low kick there.
Low kick.
Solid low kick from Kent Kauppinnen.
And he's going for that. He's got to be careful going for that kick again, not be too hungry for it.
Certainly. I think he could have caught a knee there to the head, but he just missed.
Very, very close round so far.
I
think Ali's got it on takedowns, but
certainly his takedown and the dominance from the top position, but it's certainly not being one-sided. Definitely not one-sided.
In the points game, I think Ali's clearly ahead, but in terms of a fight, very, very even so far.
That's right, and the one thing I like about Kent's style is he's going for stuff, he's really attacking.
Ali took a long look at Kent there at the end of that round. I wondered, did he think he'd have put him away earlier than this?
See, that is one fear in a fighter. You can never underestimate your opponent, and if you come in thinking you're going to get a quick finish and you start getting to the second and third round, it can become a real struggle.
I don't think it'll be an issue for Ali though. He's got fitness all day. Like a lot of wrestlers, extremely fit, possibly the fittest martial art out there as a single discipline.
Certainly, I think you can definitely agree. However, you do find that the wrestlers, the fitness for stand-up and boxing definitely suffers. There's a very different sort of fitness, I think.
Because, of course, you've got the two energy systems, aerobic and anaerobic.
That's right.
And wrestling is anaerobic. And boxing is
more, definitely, certainly more aerobic.
So, how do fighters get around that in a training camp? Do you have to train two separate things at equal levels to build both energy systems? Or
certainly, I think periodising your training is the best way to do it. Maybe working on say a 5-week period on your cardio outside of training camp, or this is obviously outside of fight training. Work on your cardio, then switch and work more explosive work, then switching down to maybe Tabatas, 20-second intervals, things like that, and then obviously working your 5-week, 6-week fight training for a fight. So this is obviously for high-level professional fighters, maybe fighting 3 times a year, periodise that training.
It's funny say it's for high-level professional fighters. I'm very impressed with what I've seen from both of these so far. I mean, I've seen fights on, without naming names, very high-level promotions, undercards for instance, that the fighters haven't displayed this kind of technicality and composure.
Certainly, I think it's been great, and it's good to see Ali, who's known as a wrestler, mixing up the stand-up. There he throws the punch, drops down for the leg, and a great leg attack, but Kent's defending well. He's not lying down.
And now, are we going to see the same thing again? Is he going to push him against the fence, not get too much attacks off? Neil Hall's watching closely, the referee, very well-respected referee. He's not standing him up for no reason. Neil's very experienced. He can tell when a stalemate position's been reached.
Certainly, but Kent's still attacking from that position. He's defending the takedown. He's not wanting to give up the back completely. He's not going to his back. He's sitting on his side, working aggressively with the punches, not letting Ali have his own way at all.
I see Neil clapping for action there. I think his stand-up's quite close unless Ali gets something off in the next few seconds.
Ali there postured up, very aware as Kent went for the arm.
Kent looking for the triangle here.
Difficult to get a triangle against a wrestler.
I'd like to see Kent just tighten up his guard a little bit and stop throwing that leg kick without any kind of setup, because I think nice right hand from Ali there on the chin, and that's what Kent's going to get more of. If he's not setting his strikes up, he's going to catch a few more of them on the chin, and that could be dangerous for him.
As he's getting tired, he's got his hands down and his chin up a little bit. See, this is where Ali can really rest as well. He can get the takedown and hold in that position. He's got such a good base. It's hard for Kent to do anything with him.
Ali got the takedown easily then. Kent's getting tired, but I think Ali possibly a little bit of tiredness as well. His takedown wasn't quite as explosive. The shot wasn't quite as explosive as in the first round.
Yep, certainly. Now Kent's got it back to the full guard. He's got one hook in. He could maybe try an elevator here, but it's so hard against a wrestler of Ali's level. Both fighters obviously tired here.
You see, while Ali's a wrestler and he's not a jiu-jitsu guy, he is jiu-jitsu aware. He's got good submission defence. He doesn't leave himself open to submissions. He's not going to get down there and leave his neck hanging out, leave his arm hanging out. It's just a very, very difficult position for Kent to be in. He's getting taken down, he's on his back, but it's hard for him to work his submission game because Ali's so tight on the floor.
Certainly, Ali's submission awareness was very evident as he postured up. As soon as Kent went for anything, he postured up, got himself out there.
Now that was a huge ambitious move on Kent's part to attempt to take down an Iranian national wrestling champion from distance.
Yeah, and that looked like a DDT.
Possibly a head and arm throw.
I'd like to think it was a DDT.
Well, we might see a steel chair coming into the ring anytime soon.
Well, Ali's he's doing so well, Kent here. I'm honestly surprised at how well he's doing.
I'm very surprised. Not that Kent was expected to be a can, but his record doesn't indicate that he's fought wrestlers of a higher level such as Ali.
Certainly.
He's fought some big name shows. He's fought on high profile shows like Knuckle Up.
Certainly. I mean, what's surprising me is not the fact that I thought Ali was going to be all over him. It's the fact that he's actually playing the wrestling game with him and doing well at the wrestling.
He's certainly holding his own. He's perhaps playing the anti-wrestling game. He's not succeeding with his 2 takedown efforts so far, and he's not blocked too many of Ali's takedowns. But
Ali's taking a breather here.
He's neutralised Ali's wrestling in the sense that Ali's taking him down and can't really do anything with it.
Ali needs to be very careful of the up kick.
Oh.
There he gets caught with it. That could have been more clean.
Now,
yeah, good call by referee Neil
what was
Hall there.
going through Ali's mind there?
I think he was taking a breather, to be honest. I think he could have been working, he could have got in there, worked some ground and pound. Instead, he's let Kent back into it. And if Kent starts working these jabs, and Ali's a bit flat-footed now.
Kent's got to watch that right hand of Ali's. His left hand is very, very low. He's wide open.
Ali dropping for the shot.
Can Ali take his back from her? I thought that was perhaps going to be the first time that Kent would manage.
He's going for the knee bar.
Good effort.
Yep, he's working well for it. A great little fighter here, Kent Kauppinnen, I think. He's really showing some skills. Nice head kick, mixing it up.
That was actually the first head kick of the night here.
Yeah, and it was a decent one. And I think as the fight's...
Oh,
lovely
nice 1-2 combination.
Beautiful left up there. As the night goes on, as the fight goes on, the fighters are more tired. Head kicks can be very useful because the fighter's got their hands down, they're tired and they can't take a shot as well. I think really Kent's showing a nice mix of techniques here. Ali still maybe dominating with the takedowns and the controlled position, but Kent is still really, really in this fight and showing a nice array of techniques.
Well, I think the second round's going to end in this stalemate position.